Australian Extra Pale Malt is both the newest product in our range and also the lightest in colour. From Paddock to pint glass, Australian Extra Pale goes on an extraordinary journey that takes it from the barley fields of Victoria to the breweries of Australia. And it all begins here in the barley paddocks of Victoria.
Andrew Wiedemann. So I farm here with my brother Rodney, Rodney's wife Andrea, my wife Julie. Family partnership, family company. We've been farming here since we came home from school back in the early 80s. So farming in the Wimmera in Victoria. We've been growing quite a wide range of crops here on the farm. I'm also involved quite heavily with research and development. I'm the current spokesperson for Grain Producers Australia, which is a peak industry national body that's always looking for innovation for growers right around Australia. We've been working ourselves as a family with Barrett Burstons for almost 40 years now, and we've been producing what we believe is some of the best malting barleys, and at the moment we're looking at new varieties that can meet the Australian Extra Pale Malt quality. We're standing in a paddock of Maximus, but we know from history that Spartacus has been one of the varieties that's been used quite widely right around Australia to meet that specification that's required by Barrett Burstons. We've also got in the paddock a new variety called Neo, and that's coming along as well. So at all times, innovation is crucial to us as farmers as we try and expand what we're doing and meet what the customer wants.
Australian Extra Pale Malt is Barrett Burstons' lightest coloured product. This base malt has a colour profile of no greater than 3.4 EBC. From farm to malting, the procurement and lab teams work hard to identify barley varieties that will be perfect to malt to produce the light colour. Post-harvest, the procurement team will assess grains from growers and purchase barley which meets malt grade. Different varieties and seasonal influences will affect the malt properties of barley. Some barley picks up colour rapidly, while some remain light and is perfect for extra pale. By micromalting, which is the process of small-scale malting in the lab, we can identify which barley variety and from which Australian region will be the best candidate to produce Australian Extra Pale Malt. After barley evaluation and identifying the variety suited for the Australian Extra Pale Malt, we will organise the delivery to the Geelong plant where it will be malted and processed.
As maltsters, we want to be able to service the needs of all of our brewing and distilling customers. With the growth of the craft market in particular, we're more often being requested to produce malt types that we traditionally haven't been able to supply in the past. Producing an Australian Extra Pale Malt made from Australian barley for Australian brewers is something that we're really excited about.
My name is Ryan. I work here at the Geelong plant as a production coordinator, and I oversee the daily production of malt. To craft Extra Pale Malt, we've selected a specific variety of barley that we know we will have success with, achieving a low colour while maintaining a lower level of modification. Throughout each day of the germination process, we carefully monitor and maintain the fan speeds, temperature, and moisture content of the grain, aiming to achieve our target profile before sending the grain to the kiln. We had already trialled some significant changes to the kiln heating and time recipes, and we found that shorter kiln cycles with low temperatures were the perfect conditions to make extra pale malt. Once the malt is in the kilns, we continuously monitor the last phase of the kiln cycle to avoid over drying. This will ensure we get the perfect extra pale colour.
Barrett Burston, Geelong, we have an enthusiastic operations team who are always keen to take on new projects, challenging each other and our processes to come up with solutions that help us support the innovation goals of our customers.
After malting, the Australian Extra Pale Malt is sent to our distribution centre, where it is bagged and ready to be sent to our customers.
G'day, I'm Tim. I'm the head brewer here at Hop Nation Brewing Company. We're down here at our Mornington production site today, brewing with some Australian Extra Pale Malt made by Barrett Burston. So we actually approached Cryer Malt and Scotty, our rep, to look for a local alternative for a low colour pale base malt. So we went through the process of talking about the specifications that we need to hit to basically satisfy what we use in all of our beers here at Hop Nation, and we went through probably a bit longer process than what we needed to make sure we absolutely got it down pat and got it nailed, and yeah, ended up landing on Australian Extra Pale Malt as our base malt here at Hop Nation. Barrett Burston Australian Extra Pale Malt offers us versatility through all of our product lines. We use it as our base malt for all of our core beers and gives us the ability to be quite flexible in what we're doing. It's always the base of every beer that we produce, and then we can top up with other specialty malts to create different beers, but always using Barrett Burston Extra Pale Malt as the base. It is extremely low colour, provides good extract, good lautering performance. When we're going through the process of selecting a new base malt to use through the facility, it was really important that we selected something that was going to be grown locally and malted locally. One of our big key values here at Hop Nation is as little impact on the environment as possible, so ensuring that we're getting it grown locally, malted locally and transported in as short a distance as possible was critical in our decision-making process. So we use Extra Pale in our Footscray draft, we use it in our Pale Ale, we use it in our IPAs, and we use it in our specialty beers as well. They can be sour beers, hazy beers, pretty much anything that we need a high performance base malt with low colour spec, we will be using our Barrett Burston Australian Extra Pale Malt in that product.
Tim, thanks very much for having us down here today. It's been a pleasure to come down and witness the brewing process at Hop Nation. And thanks for your ongoing support, especially when it comes to Extra Pale and helping us work through the spec range and delivering a product that we think that the brewing community will really enjoy using.
We hope you've enjoyed following the journey of Australian Extra Pale Malt, from Paddock to Pint, made from our finest malting barley.